Jobs as the crippling drought tightens its grip on the province. Agri Northern Cape says the number could increase as farmers share jobs and try and stay in business. Now, for more on this story, let's cross to our reporter Margaret Mothibi, who is in our Kimberly studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Joining us this morning, we are speaking to Mr. Yeneng Meiberg. He's joining us from Agri Northern Cape. And the reason why we're speaking to him this morning is about the impact the drought has had on local farmers in the Northern Cape. Well, basically, the farmers will be meeting with the Minister, Mr. Zenzeni Zokwana, where he will be speaking about what government is trying to do in terms of helping them deal with the drought in the province. Mr. Meiberg, we want to find out from you, in terms of the impact that the drought has had in the people in the Northern Cape, how bad is the situation and how are farmers coping?
The situation has improved over the last month or so with the rains we had. Before that it was really very serious. Now there's improvement, but we haven't had follow-up rain and not enough of it. And the rain patterns this year so far has been patchy, so that there are still areas that are critically dry, no food for the animals on the veld. And it's these areas that we are really worried about, because this morning we did a quick survey of those specific areas, and it seemed that between maybe 5 and 10 millimeters in some places, it's not nearly enough to get the veld growing in those areas. So some areas we are quite happy, other areas, because of the patchiness of the rain patterns, very difficult. The winter is coming up, the growing season is moving towards an end, and if we are in winter and the veld looks like it is what it is looking like now in many of those areas, we have got serious survival problems for a lot of our farmers.
And currently, you explained that the situation is quite bad for farmers. How are they surviving? How are people able to provide feed for their animals on a daily basis?
We are receiving a lot of assistance from other farmers all throughout South Africa. We got a lot of fodder from the eastern parts of the country, Limpopo province, Mpumalanga especially. Farmers there, they call us, they tell us they have got fodder available. We transport it over long distances, and we subsidize the transport of the fodder with from the fund that we have at Agri SA, which was made possible by generous donations from the public and from businesses and so on. I must also add that the co-ops in the Northern Cape is making a huge contribution to the survival of these farmers. Transport of the fodder in their areas where they work in, they distribute a lot of fodder and feed from their own silos, and this is the way we are helping one another to get through this situation.
And we've spoken a lot about the impact on the farmers, but very little about the farmer workers that they employ, because one would imagine that because of the struggles that they're currently facing, they are pushed into a situation where they might have to let go of some of the staff members. What is the situation like?
There has been some retrenchments. We are in the situation that extensive farming is not labor intensive. So for the extensive stock farmer, it's possible to keep the workers on longer than would have been in the case of a labor intensive farming sector. Our crop farming is based on irrigation, and therefore they have not been so severely affected by the drought because water has been available all the time. They have had lower yields on their crops because of the unusual heat, that temperatures that we were dealing with. So all in all, there has been retrenchments, and we are trying to alleviate that situation also with donations from private persons, from the Agri SA fund. We are going to enter into programs where we are going to supply food where it's needed on farms, try to keep the workers there so that we limit the retrenchments as much as possible. It has not been extensive so far.
So basically we want to find out from you as farmers in the province, what is it that you are expecting to hear from the minister with his address?
Well, In their presentation to the Minister a while ago, Agri SA requested 11.2 billion rands to face the challenges of the drought, and obviously we are hoping that we will get money somewhere in that area, and the main thing for us is it doesn't have to be cash. It can be in the form of subsidized interest rates, etc. But we really want to know, not only for our own sake but also for the emerging farming sector, that we will get help from the government to get through this, because we need stability in the sector at the moment. We don't want our farmers to fear that during the winter they will have to leave their farms and so on. So if we can have that news, we will be very happy.